ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, the curtain falls on... EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Jackson, option right. And right away, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. Play action. Now Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4. Another run here with Dobbins. He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force the 3rd down.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 27, Wilson. He's going to air one out. This is intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. So a 1st interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 7-7, our score after 1. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
13.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs and mud up to. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs. And
confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Looking to throw. Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, 45 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. McManus's point after is good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a 1st down.
Well, so much for being backed up against their goal line to start the drive. He gave some breathing room and then some. I think the defense really got caught thinking safety, trying to stack the line of scrimmage. And oftentimes, if you can get past the initial grouping, there's a lot of room to run. The defense actually fortunate that didn't go farther.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A pitch comes to Dobbins. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Got this complete to Racey McMath.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Flush to his right. That's taken in by Duvernay. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 41-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half.
Real quick.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And some space here. 20, 10, and they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 41 yards. And the Ravens will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. They go play action now. Jackson. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 23 yards, the final tally. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll be forced to dive forward just to get back to the line of scrimmage. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. They go play action with Jackson. Rolling to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Baron Browning. What persistence, and that persistence pays off. Tracks him down for a 19-yard loss. Certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position. Now facing third down. Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
They run it again with Williams. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. They go play action now. Wilson going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Taken right on the 30. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
No, we changed it.
This time, Jackson will throw it. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Play action. It's Jackson. That's complete left side to Bateman. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone to the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Wilson. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Wilson from his end zone on 3rd and long. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this one is incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And an utter disaster as the ball's going to go over on downs at the 2-yard line. How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out. Dobbins will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team. You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped them in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now, they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. Man open. He's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 1st and goal. They got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey, report. Middle.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 24 yards to gain there. Another 1st down as well. To throw is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And they'll get this down to the 10. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Ravens are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us?
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens will take over possession here up at the 44.
I think this one won't arrive very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And this is caught. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 56 yards. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Hey, Ozzie, stop. Danny. You. Hey. Report.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And it'll be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for the Ravens, a win here in Week 18 means they'll finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they fall for